What if the truths that challenge you the most are also the ones that hold the key to your deepest growth? Welcome back to Stoic Quotes 365, where today we're diving into 10 powerful Stoic lessons that may not only shake your understanding of the world, but also transform how you live in it. These lessons aren't just ancient wisdom, they are tools for navigating the complexities of modern life, from mastering your emotions to embracing change with resilience. Each lesson carries its own weight, and the final one might just be the most eye-opening of all. Truth that many overlook, yet has the potential to redefine your perspective on everything. So, if you're ready to confront these truths and discover how they can elevate your life, you're in the right place. Stay with us until the end, and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Engage with us in the comments and share your thoughts on these lessons. This is more than just philosophy. It's a journey of self-discovery, and we're glad to have you with us. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Embrace what you cannot control. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, emphasized that much of what happens around us is beyond our control. We may not control the weather, others' actions, or even time itself, but we have complete authority over our thoughts, reactions, and decisions. This focus on mastering our inner world is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. In today's fast-paced world, understanding what we can and cannot control is crucial for mental well-being. We're often overwhelmed by work, social pressures, and constant information. The ability to distinguish between what is within our control and what isn't serves as an anchor, helping us remain grounded amidst chaos. To apply this principle, shift your perspective. When facing a challenge, ask, is this within my control? If not, let it go. This practice isn't about giving up, but about focusing your energy where it counts. Like tending your own garden rather than battling the weather, you invest your efforts where they can make a difference. For example, everyday frustrations like traffic often lead to stress. But Stoicism teaches us to accept reality. Instead of reacting with frustration, choose calmness. Focus on what you can control, your mindset, and your next steps, and regain peace. Mindfulness is a practical way to apply this lesson. By staying present and aware of your thoughts, you can recognize when you're consumed by things you can't control. This awareness allows you to step back, observe emotions, and make conscious choices about your response. Another aspect of this lesson is setting boundaries. Often, we get involved in problems that aren't ours to solve. By recognizing the limits of our control, we protect our time, energy, and well-being. You can't control how others behave, but you can control your response. I once faced technical issues before a key presentation. Instead of letting frustration take over, I focused on what I could control, my calmness and clarity. The presentation went well, reinforcing the value of focusing on what's within our power. In conclusion, accepting what we cannot control is a powerful tool for living a balanced life. It teaches us to focus on our responses, build inner strength, and navigate challenges with grace. Embracing this principle reduces stress and creates space for growth and fulfillment. This is the wisdom of the Stoics, timeless truths guiding us toward a life of purpose and tranquility. Lesson 2. The power of perspective. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of those events. Consider two people caught in a sudden downpour. One person may curse the rain, seeing it as a nuisance, while the other might find comfort in the rhythmic sound of raindrops. The event is the same, but their perspectives differ entirely. This is a key principle in Stoicism, emphasized by philosophers like Epictetus, who famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom remains timeless, reminding us that we have the power to shape our experiences through our perspective. In our modern world, filled with unforeseen challenges and rapid changes, the ability to shift our perspective is more than just valuable. It's essential for maintaining mental peace and resilience. With the constant barrage of information, opinions, and unexpected events, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. However, by consciously choosing how we perceive these moments, we can find strength and clarity amid the chaos. So how can we harness this power in our daily lives? It starts with a conscious pause, a moment of reflection before reacting. When confronted with a challenge, step back and ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? This simple question can open the door to new possibilities. Just as a photographer adjusts their lens to find the perfect angle, we too can adjust our perspective to view our circumstances in a more empowering light. For example, consider someone facing a job loss. At first glance, it might seem like a devastating setback. However, through the lens of Stoicism, this event can be seen as an opportunity. Perhaps it's a chance to pursue a long-held passion, develop new skills, or embark on a different career path. By shifting the perspective from failure to opportunity, the obstacle transforms into a stepping stone. Another practical application of this lesson is in our relationships. Often, conflicts arise because we are locked into a single viewpoint, unable to see the situation from another's perspective. By stepping back and considering the other person's point of view, we can often find common ground and resolve conflicts more effectively. This practice not only strengthens our relationships, but also reinforces our ability to approach life's challenges with empathy and understanding. Stoicism also encourages us to practice gratitude as a way of shifting perspective. When faced with difficulties, instead of focusing solely on what's going wrong, we can consciously remind ourselves of what's still going right. For instance, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, rather than dwelling on the failure, you might focus on the lessons learned and the skills gained in the process. This mindset fosters resilience and helps us move forward with greater confidence. In conclusion, the power of perspective is a tool that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and wisdom. By consciously choosing how we interpret events, we can transform challenges into opportunities, growth. This Stoic principle reminds us that while we may not control the events around us, we always have control over how we view them. And in that control lies our true power. Lesson 3. Embracing the present moment. Stoicism invites us to anchor ourselves in the present, recognizing that the here and now is where life truly unfolds. This is the space where joy is experienced, peace is discovered, and meaning is found. Many people, however, only come to realize the importance of living in the present when they look back and see how much of life they missed by being distracted, either by the past or the future. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, deeply understood the fleeting nature of time. They knew that to dwell on what has already happened or to obsess over what might come is like trying to catch the wind, futile and ultimately unsatisfying. As Aurelius wisely observed, do not waste the remaining part of your life in thoughts about others. Be content with the present. These words are particularly resonant in today's fast-paced world, where our minds are often scattered, caught between what has been and what could be, rarely resting in the moment where life actually occurs. So how can we cultivate this practice of living in the present in our daily lives? It begins with mindfulness, the conscious effort to fully engage with whatever we are doing at the moment, free from distraction or judgment. This doesn't require elaborate rituals. It can be as simple as savoring the taste of your morning coffee, fully immersing yourself in a conversation, or feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin during a walk. By being present, we allow ourselves to experience life as it unfolds in its full richness and beauty. Consider a musician who is completely absorbed in playing their instrument. In that moment, there is no past, no future, only the music and the connection to it. This is the essence of living in the present, fully engaging with the moment, not letting it slip by unnoticed or unappreciated. Another example can be found in the way we approach daily tasks. Often we rush through our routines, our minds elsewhere, thinking about what needs to be done next or replaying past events. But Stoicism teaches us to bring our focus back to the task at hand, no matter how simple or mundane it may seem. By giving our full attention to each moment, we infuse even the smallest actions with a sense of purpose and mindfulness. Living in the present also means letting go of regrets about the past and worries about the future. It's about accepting that the past cannot be changed and that the future is beyond our control. What we do have is this very moment, this breath, this action, this thought. By focusing on the present, we free ourselves from the burden of what was and the anxiety of what might be. Moreover, being present enhances our relationships. When we are fully engaged with the people around us, we listen more deeply, connect more authentically, and appreciate the time we spend together. This mindful presence strengthens our bonds and enriches our interaction, making each moment with others more meaningful. In conclusion, living in the present is not just a philosophical concept, but a practical approach to life. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on the here and now, we can experience life more fully, finding joy, peace, and contentment in each moment. As the Stoics remind us, the present is all we truly have. Embrace it, live it, and cherish it. Lesson 4. Self-discipline and integrity. In a world filled with temptations and shortcuts, Stoicism urges us to hold ourselves to a higher standard, to become masters of our own lives. This mastery isn't about restriction, but rather about true liberation. It's about exercising self-control and ensuring that our actions align with our deepest values. The Stoics understood that the key to enduring happiness isn't found in external accolades or possessions, but in the cultivation of inner virtues that withstand the test of time. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that true freedom and serenity are achieved not by indulging in our desires, but by mastering them. In today's world, where distractions are merely a click away and ethical boundaries are often blurred, the need for self-discipline and integrity is more crucial than ever. The fast pace of modern life can easily pull us away from our principles, making it tempting to take the easy path rather than the right one. So how can we integrate these virtues into our daily lives? It starts with small, consistent actions that reflect our commitment to self-discipline. Consider the choice to wake up early for a morning run, even when staying in bed feels more appealing. This simple decision, repeated day after day, builds mental resilience and strengthens our willpower. Each act of discipline, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the person we aspire to be. For example, when faced with the option of indulging in an unhealthy meal or choosing a nutritious one, the Stoic approach would encourage us to opt for the choice that aligns with our long-term well-being. These seemingly small decisions accumulate over time, creating a foundation of strength and character that influences every aspect of our lives. It's in these moments that we define who we are and what we stand for. Integrity, too, is woven into this practice. It's about making decisions that align with our values, even when those decisions aren't the easiest or the most popular. Imagine being in a situation where taking a shortcut might yield quicker results, but at the cost of your principle. The Stoic path would advise holding firm to your integrity, knowing that true success is measured not by the outcome, but by the way in which you achieve it. This principle of integrity can be applied in various aspects of life, whether it's in relationships, work, or personal growth. For instance, being honest and transparent, even when it's uncomfortable, is a testament to one's character. By consistently choosing integrity over convenience, we build a reputation of trustworthiness and earn the respect of others. But more importantly, we maintain self-respect. Moreover, self-discipline and integrity are not just about making the right choices in challenging moments. They are about creating a lifestyle that reflects the virtues we hold dear. It's about setting goals and following through with them, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary for personal growth. It's about dreaming of the person you want to become and taking deliberate steps each day to turn that vision into reality. In conclusion, embracing self-discipline and integrity is about more than just adhering to a set of rules. It's about forging a path that leads to true freedom, where your actions are in harmony with your values. This alignment between thought and deed creates a life of strength, character, and fulfillment. By living with discipline and integrity, you're not just dreaming of who you want to be, you're actively becoming that person, one decision at a time. Lesson 5. Embracing change. While many view change with apprehension or resistance, Stoicism encourages us to see it through a lens of growth and opportunity. This ancient philosophy teaches that change is not only inevitable, but it is also the fertile ground from which new possibilities emerge. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood that change is a fundamental part of life. They observed the constant shifts in nature, the changing seasons, the rise and fall of empires, and recognize that change is the universe's way of manifesting its dynamic nature. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflected on how our lives are shaped largely by our perceptions and reactions to change. He emphasized that life is, in essence, opinion, meaning that our experience of life is determined by how we choose to interpret the changes we encounter. Stoicism doesn't merely ask us to accept change. It invites us to welcome it as a familiar companion, knowing that with each change comes the potential for growth and new beginnings. In practical terms, embracing change means viewing each shift in our lives, whether minor or monumental, as an opportunity for self-discovery and development. It's about finding the silver lining in situations that may initially seem challenging or unwelcome. For example, if you lose your job, instead of seeing it as a setback, Stoicism encourages you to view it as an opportunity to explore a career path that aligns more closely with your passions and values. Similarly, the end of a relationship, while painful, can be a chance to rediscover your individual strengths and clarify your desires for the future. This perspective shift is not about denying the difficulties that change can bring, but about reframing those difficulties as catalysts for growth. By embracing change, we align ourselves with life's natural rhythm, becoming more resilient and adaptable in the process. Just as a tree bends with the wind to avoid breaking, we too can learn to navigate life's changes with flexibility and grace. Consider the story of a person who, after years in a stable but unfulfilling job, faces an unexpected layoff. Initially, this change may seem like a disaster. However, by applying Stoic principles, they can view this moment as an opportunity to pursue something more meaningful. Perhaps they use the time to learn a new skill, start a business, or take a long-desired leap into a different field. What initially seemed like a loss becomes a turning point for greater fulfillment. Stoicism also teaches that change is a reminder of the impermanence of all things. This impermanence is not something to fear, something to embrace. It encourages us to live fully in the present, knowing that everything around us is in constant flux. By accepting the transient nature of life, we can approach change with a sense of curiosity rather than fear, seeing each moment as a chance to grow and evolve. In conclusion, embracing change is about more than just adapting to new circumstances. It's about actively seeking the growth that change offers. By viewing change as an integral part of life's journey, we become more resilient, more adaptable, and more aligned with the natural flow of existence. Stoicism reminds us that change is not an obstacle to be overcome, but a powerful force for personal transformation. When we embrace change, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities, turning challenges into stepping stones toward a more fulfilling life. Lesson 6. The futility of material pursuits. In a world that often equates success with material wealth and status, Stoicism offers a refreshing counter-narrative. This ancient philosophy teaches that true and lasting happiness doesn't come from accumulating possessions or accolades, but from cultivating an inner richness that is unshaken by external circumstances. Many people come to realize this lesson late in life. After years of chasing material gains, they find themselves surrounded by abundance, yet burdened by an unshakable sense of emptiness. The Stoic philosophers, from Seneca to Epictetus, deeply understood the fleeting nature of material wealth. They observed how fortunes can be won and lost in an instant, and how even the most luxurious possessions cannot shield us from life's inherent uncertainties and challenges. Seneca, who experienced both great wealth and exile, famously noted that true wealth is not measured by the number of possessions one has, but by having few desires. This wisdom encourages us to focus on what truly matters, rather than getting caught up in the relentless pursuit of more. In our modern era, where advertisements and societal pressures constantly push us to acquire more, this Stoic principle of finding contentment in simplicity is more relevant than ever. We are often led to believe that happiness lies just beyond the next purchase or achievement. Yet time and again, people find that no amount of material wealth can fill the void that comes from neglecting their inner life. So how do we apply this Stoic lesson in our daily lives? It begins with a conscious shift in focus, from external acquisitions to internal development. Instead of measuring success by the things we own, we can begin to measure it by the quality of our character, the depth of our relationships, and our sense of purpose. This doesn't mean rejecting material comforts altogether, but rather recognizing that they are not the source of lasting fulfillment. For instance, finding joy in simple pleasures, such as a meaningful conversation with a friend, quiet walk in nature, or the satisfaction of completing a challenging task, can be far more rewarding than the temporary high of a new purchase. Cherishing experiences over possessions not only enriches our lives, but also aligns us with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature and with ourselves. Moreover, embracing this perspective can liberate us from the constant comparison and competition materialism often breeds. When we no longer define ourselves by what we have, we free ourselves from the anxiety of keeping up with others, and instead focus on what brings us true contentment. This shift allows us to live with greater peace, knowing that our worth is not tied to our possessions, but to our integrity and the strength of our character. Another practical application of this lesson is the practice of gratitude. By regularly reflecting on the things we are thankful for, we cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. This helps us appreciate what we have, rather than constantly seeking more. It also deepens our connection with others, as we recognize that the most valuable aspects of life, such as love, friendship, and wisdom, cannot be bought or sold. In conclusion, the Stoic lesson on the futility of material pursuits teaches us that true fulfillment comes not from accumulating wealth, but from cultivating a rich inner life. By shifting our focus from external possessions to internal growth, we can find joy in simplicity, contentment in self-sufficiency, and peace in the realization that we already have everything we need to live a meaningful life. This perspective not only aligns us with Stoic wisdom, but also guides us toward a life of lasting happiness and purpose. Lesson 7. Managing emotions. Contrary to popular belief, Stoicism doesn't advocate for the suppression of emotion. Instead, it teaches us the art of understanding and navigating them effectively. This is a vital lesson, often realized too late, that mastering our emotions is not about denying their existence, but about acknowledging, understanding, and guiding them in constructive ways. The Stoics, with their profound grasp of human nature, recognize that emotions are an integral part of our existence. However, they also understood the turmoil that unmanaged emotions can create. Philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius advised against being swept away by the tempest of feelings. They encouraged standing firm, observing emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. They saw emotions as natural, but also recognized the importance of not allowing them to dictate our actions. In today's fast-paced and often stressful world, this Stoic approach to emotions is not just wise, but essential. It empowers us to respond to life's ups and downs with equanimity and clarity, rather than being tossed around by our feelings. So how can we apply this Stoic wisdom in our daily lives? It begins with self-awareness. Recognizing and naming our emotions is the first step toward managing them. This awareness allows us to understand the triggers behind our feelings and gives us the power to choose our responses rather than reacting impulsively. For example, when faced with frustration or anger, taking a moment to pause and reflect on the source of those emotions can help prevent rash decisions that we might later regret. This practice of pausing before reacting is a cornerstone of Stoic emotional management. Instead of immediately responding to a challenging situation, take a step back. Ask yourself whether your initial reaction aligns with your values and long-term goals. This moment of reflection creates space for a more thoughtful and measured response, one that reflects the person you aspire to be. Techniques such as deep breathing, journaling, and engaging in open conversations can be powerful tools in processing and understanding our emotions. For instance, deep breathing exercises can help calm the mind in moments of stress, allowing you to regain control over your reaction. Journaling, on the other hand, provides a space to explore your emotions more deeply, helping you to identify patterns and triggers that may not be immediately apparent. Open conversations with trusted individuals can also offer valuable perspectives, enabling you to see your emotions in a new light. Another key aspect of Stoic emotional management is the understanding that emotions, while powerful, are temporary. Just as a storm eventually passes, so too do our emotional states. By reminding ourselves of this impermanence, we can prevent ourselves from becoming overwhelmed by the intensity of our feelings. This perspective helps us maintain a sense of balance, even in the midst of emotional turbulence. For example, if you find yourself anxious about an upcoming event, rather than letting that anxiety control your thoughts and actions, acknowledge it. Recognize that the anxiety is a response to uncertainty and that it will pass. Then focus on what you can control: your preparation, your mindset, and your attitude. By doing so, you shift from being a passive recipient of your emotions to an active participant in how they shape your experience. In conclusion, the Stoic lesson of managing emotions teaches us that emotions are not our enemies. They are signals that require understanding and guidance. By practicing self-awareness, pausing before reacting, and using tools like deep breathing and journaling, we can navigate our emotions with wisdom and composure. This approach allows us to live in alignment with our values, making decisions that reflect our true character, rather than being driven by fleeting feelings. In embracing this Stoic perspective, we find not only emotional stability, but also a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment in our lives. Lesson 8. The importance of personal responsibility. Stoicism teaches us that while we may not control every aspect of our lives, we are ultimately responsible for our actions and the consequences they bring. This lesson, often realized later in life, underscores a truth that many wish they had understood earlier. Owning our choices is the foundation of a life lived with authenticity and accountability. It's through this ownership that we find the power to shape our destiny and build a life aligned with our values. Epictetus, who began life as a slave and rose to become a revered philosopher, emphasized that our greatest strength lies in our ability to choose our attitudes and actions, regardless of our circumstance. He taught that no matter what external forces we face, we always retain control over how we respond. This idea is echoed by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, who believed that our character is the sum of our choices, and it is through these choices that we define ourselves. In today's world, where blame shifting and externalizing responsibility are all too common, embracing personal responsibility is not just a Stoic virtue. It is a beacon of strength and self-empowerment. When we accept responsibility for our actions, we reclaim our power to influence our lives and impact the world around us. So how do we practice this Stoic principle in our daily lives? It begins with acknowledging our role in both our successes and our failures. This doesn't mean being overly harsh on ourselves, but rather facing the consequences of our actions with courage and a willingness to learn. Whether in our careers, relationships, or personal goals, taking responsibility empowers us to make changes and grow. For example, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming external factors or other people, a Stoic approach would be to reflect on what you could have done differently and use that insight to improve in the future. This practice of personal responsibility also extends to how we approach our goals. When we set out to achieve something, it's easy to be discouraged by obstacles or setbacks. But Stoicism reminds us that the key to our future lies in our own hands. By taking ownership of our goals and the actions required to reach them, we position ourselves to overcome challenges and move closer to success. Another important aspect of personal responsibility is how we handle our relationships. In moments of conflict, it's tempting to focus on the faults of others. But the Stoic path encourages us first look inward, examining our own behavior and how it might have contributed to the situation. By doing so, we not only take responsibility for our part, also open the door to resolution and growth. This approach fosters healthier, more honest relationships built on mutual respect and accountability. Personal responsibility also involves a commitment to continuous self-improvement. It's about recognizing that our journey is ongoing and that every day offers a new opportunity to make better choices. By holding ourselves accountable, we become more attuned to our actions and their impact, leading to a life of greater integrity and purpose. In conclusion, the importance of personal responsibility is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It teaches us that while we may not control everything that happens to us, we are always in control of how we choose to act. By embracing this principle, we empower ourselves to shape our lives with intention and to navigate challenges with resilience. In accepting responsibility for our choices, we unlock the potential for growth, change, and ultimately, a life of fulfillment and meaning. Lesson 9. The value of wisdom and knowledge. The great Stoic philosophers, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, were not only voracious learners, but also keen observers of life. To them, wisdom was the highest virtue, guiding light that helped them navigate the often turbulent waters of existence. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, consistently sought to deepen his understanding of the world and his role within it. For him, knowledge wasn't merely an intellectual pursuit. It was a tool for personal growth and a means to contribute meaningfully to society. In our current era, where information is abundant, yet true wisdom can be elusive, the Stoic emphasis on discerning knowledge and reflective learning is more relevant than ever. The endless stream of data and opinions that bombard us daily can easily overwhelm, making it essential to sift through this noise and focus on what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom isn't about accumulating facts, but about understanding the deeper truths that guide our lives. Incorporating this lesson into our lives means cultivating a mindset of curiosity and a genuine desire to learn. It's about embracing the joy of discovering new ideas, reflecting on our experiences, and seeking a deeper understanding of the world around us. Whether it's through reading books, observing nature, engaging with art, or having meaningful conversations, every moment holds the potential for learning. But wisdom isn't just about intellectual pursuits. It's about applying what we learn to become better human beings. The Stoics believed that knowledge should lead to action, that true wisdom is demonstrated through virtuous living. For example, understanding the importance of patience or humility isn't enough. We must practice these virtues in our daily lives, turning our knowledge into a force for good. Consider the story of a person who, after years of chasing external success, begins to seek wisdom instead. They start by reflecting on their experiences, questioning their assumptions, and learning from those around them. Over time, they find that this pursuit of wisdom brings them a deeper sense of fulfillment than any material achievement ever could. This transformation illustrates the power of knowledge when it is coupled with introspection and application. The strength in forgiveness. Another vital lesson within Stoicism is the strength found in forgiveness. Stoicism teaches us that holding on to grudges and resentment is like carrying a heavy burden. It hinders our progress toward tranquility and happiness. Many people realize too late in life that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a profound display of strength and a pathway to inner peace. The Stoics understood the corrosive effects of anger and resentment on the soul. Philosophers like Epictetus emphasize the importance of letting go of bitterness, not for the benefit of others, but for our own well-being. Forgiveness frees us from the chains of past wrongs and allows us to move forward with a lighter heart. In practice, embracing forgiveness means recognizing that clinging to anger only harms ourselves. It's about choosing to release the grip of negative emotions and embracing the freedom that comes with letting go. This doesn't mean condoning harmful actions, but rather refusing to let them control our inner state. For example, imagine someone who has been wronged by a friend. Instead of harboring resentment, they choose to forgive, understanding that this act of letting go is a gift to themselves. This choice not only restores their peace of mind, but also strengthens their resilience and emotional well-being. In conclusion, the Stoic lessons of valuing wisdom and embracing forgiveness offer profound guidance for leading a fulfilling life. By pursuing knowledge with curiosity and applying it to become better individuals, we align ourselves with the highest Stoic virtues. And by choosing forgiveness, we free ourselves from the burdens of anger, creating space for peace and growth. Together, these lessons remind us that true strength lies in the pursuit of wisdom and the courage to let go of what no longer serves us. Lesson 10. The power of forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In a world where grudges are often nurtured and forgiveness is mistakenly viewed as a sign of weakness, The Stoic wisdom of forgiveness shines as a beacon of emotional maturity and enlightened self-interest. Embracing forgiveness isn't about surrendering or condoning wrongdoings. It's about recognizing that every person, including ourselves, is capable of making mistakes. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is an act of liberation. It frees us from the chains of bitterness and resentment, allowing us to move forward with our lives unburdened by the weight of past wrongs. This isn't just a philosophical ideal. It's a practical approach to living with peace and clarity. When we forgive, we reclaim our power over our emotions and choose not to let the actions of others dictate our inner state. Incorporating forgiveness into our daily lives involves acknowledging our shared humanity. Whether it's forgiving a friend who has wronged us, a colleague who has made a mistake, or even ourselves for our own errors, each act of forgiveness strengthens our character. It deepens our capacity for compassion and understanding, allowing us to approach life's challenges with greater wisdom and resilience. For instance, consider a situation where a close friend betrays your trust. The immediate reaction might be anger or hurt. Holding on to those emotions only prolongs your suffering. By choosing to forgive, you release the grip that betrayal has on your heart. This doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the wrongdoing. It means choosing your peace of mind over lingering resentment. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness is not just a gift to others. It's a profound act of self-care. By letting go of grudges, we make room for growth, joy, and inner tranquility. This approach aligns with the Stoic belief in focusing on what we can control, our reactions, our attitudes, and our decisions, while letting go of the things we cannot change. In conclusion, the Stoic lesson of forgiveness is a powerful reminder that true strength lies not in holding on to anger, but in the grace to let go. It's through forgiveness that we cultivate wisdom, strengthen our character, and open our hearts to deeper compassion. By practicing forgiveness, we embody the highest Stoic virtues and navigate life's challenges with poise and resilience. As we conclude these 10 powerful lessons from Stoicism, it's clear that these timeless teachings can guide us through life's challenges with wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. By embracing these principles, we not only strengthen our character, but also find deeper fulfillment in our daily lives. If you found value in this journey, I encourage you to dive deeper into Stoic philosophy by exploring more content here on Stoic Quotes 365. Don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And for a more comprehensive understanding of Stoicism, be sure to check out my playlist, Stoicism for a Fulfilling Life. There, you'll find even more tools and wisdom to enrich your path to a meaningful life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Stoic Quotes 365.